Kim, have been, so my wife and I, much like Kim and his wife, have been to the Oregon coast dozens of times. It is an absolutely beautiful and awesome place. It can also be a very fearsome place because the weather can be really crazy. But honestly, right where the mountains and the forests meet the sea in just this most incredible way. And so I was just telling Kim and I were just talking here just a few minutes ago about you can go, you think you can see everything on the coast, but you really haven't. You drive down the road, you go, wait, that's new. Let's go see what that is. And, it treats you to something new and unexpected. And then even going back to the old places where you've gotten great images before, Mother Nature sometimes has a tendency, or God, or, whatever. I think it's God, but whatever treats you to something new and different. And so it's just an incredible place. And the weather is always seemingly in a state of change. So, I mean, all this, your images completely change based on the weather, time of day, and so on and so forth. Um, so I'm gonna just, can I share my screen? No, I'm able to share my screen, right? So we're gonna just kind of quickly walk through the itinerary. Let me share my screen with you. Let's see. Oh, sharing's not turned on.
You're good.
Okay. Okay, so this is posted on the website, and this is kind of a rough itinerary. This is subject to change. Something may happen, something may be closed, who knows? And honestly, when we get there, if the weather is such that we have to make some changes, it's entirely possible we could. So just know that you tend to hold your schedule loosely on the coast. Um, so what we want to do is we want to try to be in Hood River. If you're going, you want to try to be in Hood River Thursday night. Or, I don't know if you're an all-night driver because it'll be all night going from Idaho to Hood River. But we're going to be following the old highway along the Columbia Gorge. So somewhere around 8 o'clock. I think sunrise is at 7:30. 8 o'clock is really nice because the east light is behind the wall of the gorge, so you get this really beautiful light in there. There's probably, I want to say, six close to the road waterfalls along the route. We'll probably visit two, maybe three of them, and absolutely beautiful. That whole highway's all got a huge canopy. You pull off, you go hike back to whatever waterfall. What we're not going to go see is we're going to just drive past Multnomah Falls. Everyone's seen it. It's hard to find parking there. It's going to be difficult. So we're already finding some of the other waterfalls kind of fill up too, the little parking lots for that, and we'll be caravanning. So we're going to kind of stay to kind of the secondary, the other waterfalls, but there's a lot of really beautiful ones that don't quite make the pages of Oregon magazine like Multnomah does, but they're equally beautiful and they equally have a lot of wonderful elements to capture. So we're going to spend our morning that way. If any of you know what Vista House is, if you've driven to Portland, and as you're driving down the interstate and before you get to Troutdale, you look at this great big monolith. It looks like the freeway's gonna just drive into. And there's this little itty bitty castle looking like thing at the very top. That's what's called Vista House. It was built, I think it was built in the teens or 20s. I don't remember which, but it's an old structure and it's just worth stopping and checking out. It's fun. But we are kind of about noon, 1 o'clock. We're going to want to beeline it to the coast because we want to try to settle into your lodging, try to be there, about 3 o'clock. Get some time to get in, get settled, get your luggage unpacked, get your gear out, things like that. Our first stop is going to be our first meeting spot. So this is going to be where we don't have an assigned hotel. You pretty much kind of pick your own lodging. So they have high-end lodgings all along the coast. They have inexpensive lodging all along the coast. They have campgrounds all along the coast, Airbnbs and VRBOs So you pick what you like, but I would say we're going to probably base ourselves pretty close to Newport. That's kind of going to be our base of operations. So um, I'm not saying you need to stay in Newport, but if you're in Otter Rock or Depot Bay or south down to Waldport or Yachats, it's a bit of a drive coming in, but it's a beautiful drive. So, you know, pick what you like. Okay. Most all of those places are within 20 miles of Newport. So it's not like it's a huge imposition to get there. So wherever you are, get settled in. We're going to convene about 5:30 at the Devil's Punch Bowl. That's one of the big major attractions on the Oregon coast. Um, the Devil's Punch Bowl is interesting, but what's more interesting is we're going to go around the block, parking the parking lot around the corner, and go down to a place called Marine Beach. I earned 4 merits to my master's degree on that single beach alone. And it's probably, I'm going to say, maybe 800 feet long. So that gives you what kind of place this is. It's really pretty. And so we're going to we're going to be there close to sunset. We'll be there just kind of about an hour before sunset, and we'll shoot clear into the blue hour. Um, Interesting thing about the coast, once the sun sets, it gets dark really fast. So like in the mountains, the sun will be behind the mountain, but you'll still see it kind of, glowing up behind and lighting up the sky. When it sets on the coast, I mean, it's beautiful. The light's beautiful, but it does get dark in a hurry because it's just flat out there and the sun is now, going over the curvature of the earth at that point. So anyway, we'll continue on till I'm guessing about 7:30, 8 o'clock. That's when it'll probably be. I think sunset is around 7:45, 8 o'clock. We'll be at high tide, so we will have to assess the conditions of the beach. If it's too high, I have at least two other alternatives to Marine Beach if it's too high. But at least initially, that's what we're going to go to. And then, if we haven't eaten by then, Newport Cafe is a wonderful little cafe. We may all convene there. It's not going to be part of your admission, but they serve an incredible breakfast, lunch, and dinner 24 hours a day. It's a quintessential dive type diner with incredible food. So you can eat almost any time. All right. Questions day one. All good? All right. Day two. 6:45 is I think about so yeah, 6:45 is sunrise. And what I'd like to do is meet at the Newport Commercial Marina. They call it Dock 5. So it's the big major fishing docks. All the major fishing vessels are docked there. You will find it in the old Bayfront district. There's a long parking lot. You'll just go and it's all of a sudden it's parking lot for 3 city blocks. And if you look to the right, that's Dock 5 right there. And so we can walk back there, photograph as the sun's coming up. It's really amazing. The image behind me was taken at Dock 5 and one of my favorite places to go. Once we get tired there, honestly, the old Yaquina Bay beachfront or the old town,
Lighthouse.
yeah, is probably not going to have a whole lot of people, and it's actually got some beautiful old storefronts that are kind of original to the town, and we can even get far enough out. We can even get close-ups of the Yaquina Bridge. So it just kind of feels like what everyone's doing. If everyone's having fun at Dock 5, we'll keep at it. If we all just kind of want to go and move down the bayfront, we can do that too. So again, this is kind of your guys' trip. I want you guys to be able to just enjoy, have fun, not have anyone, saying, okay, this is great, do this, you know, make some suggestions, then go out and you guys go play. Lunch will be hosted by PPI. So I am thinking about the Chowder Bowl down in Nye Beach. Incredible seafood there, pretty affordable, and we can make it part of your admissions. So how we'll probably handle that is You'll have X amount of dollars you can spend there that PPI will cover. If you want to order more, if you want to order the captain's plate and spend more, that's fine. You're responsible for the extra. So anyway, but it's one of our favorite places to eat down there. So in the afternoon, here's was the thing I was trying to figure out in the afternoon, Saturday afternoon, because the light is if the sun is shining, the light absolutely stinks on ice out there. And it's like, okay, now you want to just go in and take a nap or whatever. So what I thought we would do is maybe go to the Oregon Coast Aquarium. Now I need to look at admissions and look at the budget and things like that. My business partner, Kelly Zimmerman's been there. She has taken some image excellence images just in it's an underwater aquarium. And you get into like the hers was of the uh, jellyfish section. There's this column full of jellyfish, and she got this one that was just jaw dropping. And so, there's definitely some potential to photograph in that environment and just enjoy it. So I need to kind of get with them, find out what it is, how much it costs. I think we can kind of work it into the budget. It's just hosting a group like ours. So that is more information yet to come on that. Dinner, you are on your own. I would encourage everyone to just get together and say, hey, let's go over and hit such and such. And that's usually best. So at 5 o'clock, we're going to go do something I haven't done before. So, good friend of mine, a good friend of Kim's as well. Terrell Moffat at convention, we were talking about this, and he goes, well, I don't know if I want to tell you my secret spots, and I'm going, okay, what is it? And he told me
No,
about the 804 trail out of Yachats. And
yeah.
he's going, oh my gosh, that's 2 miles of incredible coastline. I've never been there, but I want to go there and I'll take all you guys with me. So I guess it's a really rugged shoreline, lots of cliffs, it should still be fairly high tide at that time. And we'll shoot through Golden and as deep into Blue Hour as we can. So that's how we'll finish off Saturday. Sunday morning, I don't know whether we're going to go 7 or 8 o'clock, but Depot Bay has the North America's smallest harbor, so it's really cool and pretty. And honestly, you'll get into it and you go, my gosh, this is a tiny little place, and it's the smallest navigable harbor in North America. But also, when you get up on top on the bridge, the inlet to the ocean is pretty spectacular. The town is really spectacular. We're up early enough in the morning before the tourists hit. It's going to be a beautiful time. We may even get some mist rolling up off the ocean, and there's lots of opportunities there at Depot Bay. And so we may look at the possibility of hosting a breakfast there. So I got to talk with Jen and Adrian, see look at the logistics of that, because what I'd like to do is treat you to two cookouts if yeah, because I think we can have that in the budget. So my thinking is Depot Bay would also be a great place for a cookout if I can find the right spot for it. So after that, at 9 o'clock, kind of after the sun is well up, we may head out to Yaquina Bay Lighthouse. Absolutely beautiful outcropping lighthouse on the end of a large head that sticks out into the ocean. A lot of nature walks around there. You can go down into Agate Beach, which is an unusual beach. It's a beach full of black rocks this big.
No,
And it
it's not
makes it,
Agate Beach,
it's not Agate Beach. What do they call it?
Cobblestone Beach.
Oh, they call it Cobblestone. Okay.
Yeah.
All
You're
right.
right.
I know Agate is kind of closer to Newport, but I thought it wrapped around. But
Yeah.
anyway, the ocean makes this wild
Yeah,
sound
it's
as it
really cool.
comes up through those rocks, and it's pretty crazy. And so the lighthouse might be open, you know. So we'll see. But anyway, just even if we can't get into the lighthouse, it's a beautiful place to photograph. Um, about 3 o'clock or somewhere between, yeah, about 1 o'clock, we're gonna head out down south to Hissita Head, which is probably one of the most beautiful lighthouses on the Oregon coast, one of the
Mm.
most photographed. Um, I'm hoping to have models for some of these, and if we do, we will have access to the lighthouse till 3 p.m. The Park Service the director of the park there goes, you are welcome to do whatever you want inside the lighthouse. It's open. You can have groups of people. You can shoot models in there. It's all fine. We close it at 3. Boom. So, which is fine. So I think that's probably time for a dinner cookout, kind of around 4, maybe 5 o'clock. And then what we'll be getting into is the golden and the blue hour, which is spectacular at his seat ahead. And then, of course, as the sun goes down, if there's a little bit of mist out, you can actually see the beams of the Fresnel lens as it goes around. There's like all these beams just rotating around this tower, and it's just awesome. So, and then Monday morning, if everybody wants to do a farewell breakfast, we can do that, and then pretty much everyone goes home. So it's a lot to do in 3 days, but and again, this is tentative, and we're going in September, which the weather patterns tend to be more favorable than most times of the year. And but there's no guarantees. I mean, we could have a marine layer move in, park in overhead. That means our photography is going to change a little bit, but that's okay because there's opportunities there. And I've been on there when a typhoon has come on shore. That can be pretty spectacular too. So, any questions about the itinerary? Okay, I hear crickets. All right.
It sounds amazing. I have never been on the Oregon coast, so I think
Wow.
whatever happens is going to just be amazing.
And I being there 18 times, it's still cool. So, yeah. All right. So, gear list. I'm just going to quickly go over this. You guys can read over this.
Uh, it-
One of the, what's that?
Before you go to the gear list, is
Yeah.
it easy to get hotel rooms at this time of year?
Yes,
Or do you
because
have to have it?
we're going after the tourist season closes.
Okay, good. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so you do want to start looking at your lodging right now because even on the non-tourist season, it things book up pretty quickly. So there's some people who are smart like uh, me and Kim who go, yeah, September's a great time to go. Everyone's in school and the photography is amazing. So yeah, it's good to start looking right now.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. And like I said, you are free to stay anywhere you like. We put out a list of suggested lodging options. I think one of the other things that's kind of cool. Now, my house is full. We're renting an Airbnb there, but we're also staying for the rest of the week after everyone goes home. So that makes it kind of tough. But if one of you kind of goes, hey, let's get together, let's do a large house, and we can host 6 other people in this and split up the cost of this Airbnb, that's fun. That's a blast if you can do that. And a lot of the bigger, nicer homes are the ones that are actually on the beach. So that's something to kind of be, if somebody wants to coordinate that, or if any of, just reach out or ask Mike who's going and just reach out to those people going, hey, you guys want to get together and do a house? That's a great idea. All right. Any more questions on the itinerary? We will be flexible. If something doesn't work, I've got 2 or 3 other places in my hat. We'll just pull it out and we'll go to plan B. We won't even, yeah, and it will be just as cool as plan A. So, all right.
Love it.
So go into the gear list. Obviously bring all your lenses, bring them all, bring a spare camera body. The tripod, this is worth talking about just a little bit. I've got a nice Bogan 3050, which is an all aluminum, stainless steel, and metal tripod. Okay. This is a rough environment for metal tripods. So I'll use it, but I'm using it well back from the water because you get one drop of salt water and it immediately starts to rust wherever it came in contact. Carbon fiber or wood are preferred, particularly if you're going to be moving closer to the water. Particularly ones that do not have metal parts. Like I said, salt water corrodes metal really fast. So if you want to be kind of down in the surf with your tripod, wonderful. Just make sure you got something that's going to hold up or something you don't care about, because by the time you get home, you won't be using it. I guarantee it. Remote shutter or cable release. There's sometimes you're just kind of like the waterfalls, the surf. You may want to just go drag that shutter and just let the ocean or the waterfall just paint itself into your camera. And cable release is really great. If you take it with a tripod, make sure you take a bag or a carry strap, because some of these places to get down to the beach can be kind of steep and rocky, and it's just easier if you have it slung over your shoulder and you're as portable as possible. Neutral density is also good if you want to do long exposures. Bring a good quality, at least a two stop or a variable. Variables, I think, come to 2 to 10 stops, and you can actually slow your shutter speed to where you can paint the scene in for a minute by opening up the shutter. Polarizers, I don't know. Bring one if you have one. There's opportunities to use it. Graduated neutral density, sunsets, bright sky. Those are particularly helpful. I don't use it, but a lot of people swear by them, and they're really cool. I've seen some, and then a lens cleaning kit. You'll be using it. And then all the other stuff. Make sure you got camera batteries, laptop card reader, stuff like that. Kind of weather resistant camera bag. If it's raining, you'll want to just have a dry place to put your camera. You'll have it out when it's raining, I'm sure, but you want to try to protect your camera as much as possible. And if your camera bag has a rain cover, that's all the better. A lot of them come with those. Camera rain sleeve or weather cover. Actually, I was thinking more of just taking a poncho, because you can stick your camera under a poncho until you need it. Just pop it out. So if it is raining, something that's going to keep the water out and help keep your gear dry. And then Ziploc bags and those dry bags. Somebody help me out. Silica gel. Yes, thank you. Had it right there. Those are good if something gets moist or something like that. You can kind of dry it out. Clothing, you need to dress for everything from beautiful sunny weather that you'd be in, shirt sleeves and shorts, clear to this could be 40 degrees out, blowing wind, and you are chilled to the bone. So you need to kind of come prepared for almost anything. Don't know what the weather is. We won't know really until almost the time we get there. And but yeah, hat, sunscreen, all of that stuff. External flash, if you want to shoot some models, that's useful. Off-camera triggers if you're going to be shooting models, and any light stands or whatever. Headlamp or flashlight if we get stuck out on the 804 trail and we're having a great time and it's dark when we're walking back, you're all going to wish you're going to have a flashlight. So make sure you got a flashlight in your bag. And then just some personal miscellaneous. Just you can go through that. Sunscreen, water bottle, snacks, first aid kit, things like that.
And all this is on the website.
This is all on the website. Questions on that? Okay, I'm gonna jump over and we're gonna just talk about a couple of images. These are some images I've captured over the years. So I'm going to show you some stuff from really early on. This is going to be, you're going to be showing these in Bridge. So my apologies for not going full screen. So this is Hasita Head Lighthouse at sunset. Funny story behind this. I entered this in competition, scored well, and I was on the print crew standing behind the curtain as the judges were looking over it. And the guy from Eugene goes, I'll award first place to anyone but this one. Why? Because it was taken on the highway outlook overlooking this spot that everyone else takes a picture on. He wanted to see something different. So we're going to be crawling around that area and we're going to be getting some different stuff. So, but anyway, it was one of my first PPA merits. So it's kind of a fun image.
Bill, hit the space bar.
Hit the space bar. Oh, there we go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Is there any way I can zoom it in any closer or any magic commands?
If you tap on it with your mouse, it should go full screen or double in size. Depends. Maybe not.
Yeah, yeah, it's not.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Depot Bay. This is how big the bay is. I'm standing overlooking the boat ramp, and this boat comes sailing into Depot Bay, and uh, but a really beautiful place to photograph. And for those who really, really love Fibonacci's spiral, the stairways in these lighthouses are a great source of inspiration for that. This happens to be Yaquina Head Lighthouse, taken from the top landing, kind of looking down through that, and it's really kind of a cool spiral, kind of a cool design. This is Marine Beach. This is the beach where I've earned a lot of merits. You'll see a few. I have a few of them in this slideshow, but if you look kind of over in this area right over here, that is actually the Devil's Punch Bowl. So all the tourists are right here. The real cool stuff is down here on this beach. So this is where we're going. We'll meet up there. So that's Marine Beach. And for those of you who want to know what the inside of the Devil's Punch Bowl looks like, at low tide, you can actually walk into it. And so this was one I entered in competition. Didn't do so hot, but it was kind of a cool image anyway. It's kind of interesting what the ocean does to rocks. And I'm just doing these in the order that the computer's sorting them. This is the lodging up at Heceta Head Lighthouse down in the south. This is the assistant lightkeeper's quarters. It's now a bed and breakfast, but this is actually looking south towards Florence. The lighthouse would be to our back. Really beautiful little place, beautiful little house, and the whole area is just incredible. Looking for something different with Heceta Head. I don't know what the condition of the trails are behind the lighthouse. I got this kind of crawling through knee-deep brush and bramble on I'm going to say about a 70-degree hill. You were literally walking, and you could reach back and touch the dirt kind of behind you to get to that location. They may have changed it a little bit. Somebody was telling me they did some changes up there, but anyway, this is kind of a cool view of the lighthouse. Not everyone gets to see it. Along the gorge, we're going to see waterfalls like this. I think this is Lachlan Falls. I think what was so interesting was the rock formations. I'm going to challenge you guys, going back to Heceta Head, go look for images of Heceta Head you've never seen before. They're out there. You just have to look for and find it. Everybody's got all the common pictures. Look for what's uncommon. And same with the waterfalls. Don't just, there's the classic tourist shots where, mom and dad and the kids are there waving in front of the waterfall. Then you go to the next level where, oh, I have to document this scene. I'm going to challenge everyone to kind of look further. Look at the moss, look at the movement of the water, capture, look at the patterns of the waterfall as it's coming down, the patterns in the rocks behind. Let your eye see something beyond what is, oh my gosh, what a beautiful scene. Let's document it. Let's look for things that are different. So I'm going to challenge everybody to look for what is different in these locations we're going to. This is Port Dock 5. Just never ending. The challenge with the docks is there's so many sailing vessels there, it becomes a cluttered mess. So one of the great challenges as a photographer is to kind of isolate and simplify. And that's you're going to find Dock 5 is going to be very challenging in that respect, but can be very rewarding if you find the right thing. So this isn't quite the right thing. A lot of clutter and junk in the background. It would be better without it. But it's better than most shots of the dock that I've often seen. So more images along the gorge. I think this might be Bridal Veil. I'm not sure. We'll go here. This is one of the upper falls. You can actually have to hike to get to this one. But right in here, if you look in this area right here, get in and get some of these patterns and stuff, or how the moss sits static against the moving water, that can be pretty cool. So just want to inspire you guys to, again, look beyond the obvious. And this is looking beyond the obvious. I mean, these are really cool, when you've got all these little buoys and stuff and fishing net floats that are hanging on sea vessels and things like that. They can really create some cool abstract patterns and colors. So again, look for what's not obvious. This is okay, what Cobblestone Beach.
Yeah.
From Yaquina Head, there's a little stairway that takes you down here, and the sound that this surf makes as it comes up the rocks is just incredible. It's like nothing I've ever heard before. Excuse me, heard before. But all along up here is this all nature area, including this large mountain or this big hill that's behind the lighthouse. So there's at least a couple hours of just exploring just on Yaquina Head right here, right around the lighthouse. So lighthouse is cool. Get pictures of the lighthouse, but look what's beyond it. Look at the other things happening around, because there's some things that are equally as cool as well. So, and on beaches, you're likely to run into stuff like this, and it can be kind of fun as well. And even in the mundane, you can find some interesting patterns. Certainly not a merit-worthy image by any means, but something that's interesting and just kind of leans into pretty much the day I had, kind of a gray marine layer day. If we have the marine layer, we're just going to lean into it because, yeah, the ocean gets really misty, clouds get low, they kind of fit into the forest, and you can find stuff like this. And super cool. This would be a plan B location for me, but you can see some equally beautiful things can happen there. And again, marine layer, rain, wind, all that stuff. Even if it's a bad day, it's only a bad day if you don't have your camera out and finding what's amazing and powerful. Because yeah, that whole coastline can be really super powerful. So anyway. Yeah, I didn't want to turn into a great big exposition about how I created these images or anything like that. I just wanted to kind of share some inspiration here. Okay. Oh, okay. Stop share. There we are. I see you guys now. Any questions at all? I want to just kind of challenge you guys to just think out of the box. Yeah, definitely get the stuff that's beautiful, document. All these areas are just incredible, but really kind of look beyond. Actually, there's just one other thing. I'll share three other images with you, and I don't. I had them in Dropbox, and I can't find them, but I'm going to go back to. Oh, where is it? There we go. Sure. There was three mirrored images. I wasn't in this collection, but you see this top one right here. So kind of a little story about that one. This one here, I was actually on Marine Beach photographing. This is Yaquina Head Lighthouse right here. This is the Devil's Punch Bowl, and I'm actually looking south. So I'll explain later why it feels like you're looking north, if you know what I mean. And right after I got done shooting this flock of pelicans flew by, and I just kept the camera going and click, 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 click down the coastline as they went through. And so neither one of them by themselves was a really particularly spectacular image. I mean, they were cool, but it didn't have a huge wow factor. And, one day I was just kind of playing with the two images and all of a sudden figured out, oh, wait, if we put these two together, what would happen? So you can't see it, and the judges at PPA didn't see it either. But this is actually the seam, right? Right here is the seam between these two images. And so after a great deal of work and smoothing that out, the judge's comment, it merited. The judge's comment went, wow. Oh, and the other thing is I actually flipped the image because it felt like it better if the landmass was on the right-hand side. So I just kind of went completely out of the box. What was south is now north. This is a place now that no longer exists that anyone knows of. And I just kind of created my own little world here. And so it merited, love the image. The judge's response was, if this was a if this was a stitched together image, bravo, it's well done. He says if this is an original capture, all the better. And so anyway, I called this crossing the bar. The one down below here in this area is my very first image excellence or loan collection image. It was called loan at the time. And this is taken at Dock 5. We had an entire week of the marine layer. I was absolutely sick to death of the fog and the gray and the cold and all of that. Had lunch with a friend of mine over there who said, if you're looking for sunshine, this is what you look for on the coast. And he pointed out to a little gray patch or little blue patch over the ocean. He says, when you see that, go get your camera because the marine layer is breaking. And sure enough, I went home, got my camera. It was getting close to sunset. The marine layer broke, and oh my gosh, one of the most magical experiences. I think all the fishermen decided that it was time to go fishing because there wasn't a lot of boats in the marina either. But I did capture these three just docked together right there at Dock 5. So it was my first loan collection image ever. And then this was also captured on Marine Beach. When the tide's out, you can get these beautiful tidal flats. The water in it are really perfectly still. All the motion in the ocean is clear out here, and those tidal flats really become pretty magical. So anyway, there you go.
Beautiful images. Thank you for sharing, Phil.
Absolutely. Oh, stop share. There we go. So anyway, Oregon's going to be a blast, guys. You do have some freedom. You can even, when you get to where we're going and we go, this is lame. I saw something cooler up the way about a mile. Go do it. So I just want to go share this beautiful spot with you guys.
Love it.
Yeah. So anyway, questions?
Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So
Well, I for one would be interested in possibly coordinating a Airbnb group place for people if it's a money saver. I don't know. I just briefly looked and they're depending on how many people, they're kind of pricey, but whatever makes sense. So if somebody wants to shop around, I'm open to that idea.
No, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
if you actually even look out of Newport, if you look up closer to Otter Rock or down towards Waldport, sometimes you can find some better values. Newport is a big population hub,
Okay.
and it is a tourist. It's a tourist town. It's not.
Yeah.
The charm of Newport is kind of there in places, but it's just a big port town now. Where a lot of the other places I think are a lot more charming and probably less expensive.
Okay.
So don't
It
be
was just
afraid.
it was a quick glance. I was like, oh, I was thinking that price would have more rooms or more, but I'll keep shopping.
Otter Rock is 11 miles north. Waldport is, I think, 12 or 13 miles to the south. So it's not like a huge drive, and the drive is beautiful. So you don't even feel like you've been driving 11 miles. It feels like, oh yeah, we just kind of made a quick little jaunt and here we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And so yeah, oh, Annie has a question. Okay. There happens to be a spouse who isn't a photographer. They would be able to come and tag along, naturally pay their own food, etc. Thoughts? I'm actually wanting to generate a social pass, and but honestly, so the expenses we have to pay, kind of go more than just food because we also are we're probably going to end up having to buy park passes for everyone. They're not real expensive, but they have a 3-day pass that you can purchase. And my thought was we just line up all our cars, we go through, we all buy a park pass, then all the cars have access. So as long as the spouse is not necessarily adding to the expense, although I mean to join us for the cookouts, we still have to pay for that. But if we had a social pass, that was considerably less, that just mostly covers food, then they can kind of be part of it. I know my wife, my mother-in-law, and my daughter are all coming, and they're going to go do their own thing. So we're not even going to see them. So we're not going to worry about it. But if they were coming and going to be part of the food and stuff like that, I would probably be buying a social pass for them. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
I
I
mean,
got a thumbs up from what's that? What's that,
you need
Ted?
to cover the expenses. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The expenses that the organization is. I mean, because to be honest with you, I'd like to bring my wife,
Yeah, please
and she
do.
likes to come out. Sometimes she'll come out and just do the cell phone thing.
Yeah, that's my husband. He's not there to
Yeah.
shoot. He just wants to look at nature and be with people.
Exactly. And I think there's space for that. I think as long as we can make sure that all the food's covered and if they dine with us, and hopefully they do, it'd be kind of fun. That just makes it more fun and enriching when
Yeah.
we got other people involved as well. And it's always fun when our spouses show up too. So yeah, I need to get with Mike and come up with a social pass for this as well. So yeah, please bring your spouses. It'll be fun.
And since we're recording this and sharing it, if you know of anybody that might be interested, watch for the rewatch link and you can pass it around and all that good stuff. So
Good idea.
it'll be
Okay.
fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. So we want to go on to the next thing. Just to
Sure.
segue into what we talked about. Okay. So we got this. This isn't going to be for everybody. But these are kind of more for business owners. We got a guy named David Hilton coming June 20th. He's a very fascinating guy because he talks business, and he that's what he's really about. He's owned I think it's 7 studios and a photo lab at one time, and successfully ran the whole thing, and then sold it, retired, and then he started teaching. And so he's now got, I think, an MBA and a doctorate's degree. He's the kind of guy that goes and has found uh, most of the studios making money in this country, and went out and had lunch and dinner with them and talked with them, and asked the question flying home, if I opened up a studio across the street from these guys, what would I have to do to compete? And so he not only looks at the photographic industry, but he's also looking outside the photographic industry at what companies in general are doing successfully, sales tactics, customer journeys, all these different things. His whole thing is photography has really become very much a commodity. And I think many of us have battled this over the years. Whereas, well, I just want files to put on my greeting cards, and so I can just send it out. And honestly, it's been reduced to a can of soup. And what he's doing is he's wanting to say, hey, you need to build the value of what you do so that people do want those wall portraits, that people all of a sudden see the value in those wall portraits. And he's created a complete system for premium portrait photography business. And I know we're starting to feel the effects of that. We've been working with him for a few months, or for not quite a year, but close to. And I know in our studio we're starting to feel what's happening, and it's some good things. And so he's a very brilliant business guy. It's going to be a 1 day. Just be prepared if you go that he's going to probably turn the fire hose loose on you. There's going to be a lot of great information, but he has a lot to share. And we're part of one of his long-term programs, and I'm finding out, yeah, that knowledge base is huge. And so, but if you're wanting to up your game in 2026, 2027, this is a guy worth listening to. And so we're bringing him here to the 8th Street Studio in Boise. And honestly, yeah, I can't think of. There's a lot of great business gurus out there, but he's one of them. He's got a book out. If you want to have a kind of an early look at what he's got, let me share this with you. He just published a book. It's actually written kind of in a almost a novel concept. Okay, there we go. Profitable Portrait Studio Playbook. And this is a story about a gal who is kind of doing what most everyone else is doing. They're spending their nights up at 4 in the morning editing so they can get images out in the next morning, and working 7 days a week and really have very little to show for it. And she runs into a guy named Vern who kind of helps her take a journey to look at her business differently and kind of get herself angled to where she's attracting the right customers, she's building value. They're starting to really stop asking about files. They kind of stop caring about it because, again, she's reaching the right people. And so it's a really kind of a great book, but it's really based on a lot of the principles that he teaches. So anyway, get a chance to read it. It's not real expensive. He told me purposely he did not make it expensive so people would buy it and read it. Not about making money, it's about changing the industry, is what he feels about this. So anyway, that's that. And so anyway, hope you're able to come. It's going to be the best Saturday morning and afternoon you'll be able to invest June 20th. So do we want to play that video? Do you want to play that video he sent me?
Remind me how long it is?
It's 5 minutes. It's well closer to 3, maybe 3 or 4.
You're welcome to do. I know I saw it and it was helpful to kind of get a sense of, and maybe the people that watch this, if you're not interested, pass this bit on, but it might be interesting to some people. So I'm fine with that.
Okay, let me get it on my screen. I stop. All right, so let me share the screen. Let's see. All right.
Just so you know, we can't hear anything yet.
Okay. How do we get the audio to play over? Anybody know how to do that?
I do not.
No idea.
Let me unplug my headset here. Maybe through my speakers. Tell me if you can hear it now.
Welcome, folks. This is David Hilton.
Yes.
Here's about money and success in
Is that
the
better?
portrait photography business. There's so much opportunity out there to earn a substantial personal income in portrait photography today. But unfortunately, there's a ton of misinformation that is causing so many studio owners to struggle rather than moving toward financial independence. This talk is entitled, Taking Your Business from Struggle to Financial Success. Build a successful business that is in sync with your ideal customers' innermost desires, creating products, marketing, and sales that lead to success.
Okay, sorry guys, somehow my screen sharing paused.
If that's hosted on Vimeo, if for some reason you can't get it going, maybe in the rewatch link, we could also link that video and people can watch it on their screens as well.
Okay, all right. Well, honestly, here, let me stop this. Go to the PPI website. It is on David Hilton's registration page. It's the link on the top. It's a great little video.
Okay.
Definitely worth watching. We'll tell you a lot about, just give you a kind of a taste of what it is. I'm also gonna talk to him, see if he can do one of these member connects before he comes. So it might be fun to hang out with him for an hour and learn more about what his program's going to be. So I think
Awesome.
Jen and Mike and I need to talk and see when that's going to happen. So anyway,
Great.
that's all I got.
Thank you.
Hopefully
Thank you,
everyone's
Phil.
inspired. Hopefully everyone's excited to go to Oregon.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yay.
All right.
Good seeing y'all.
Yeah.